You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality art, interviews, music and hot topics. Hosted by Dini Mussolini and co-hosted by Banditti. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at least 1 hour after each show at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. We welcome all. Enjoy the show.
Yo, it feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So, one time for my people that are indigos, starseeds, and crystalline. Well, let me back it up right there. Everybody, I get all kind of emails about, hey, Dini, what in the world is an indigo? Well, I'll tell you briefly. An indigo and a starseed and crystalline are a special classification of individuals. Intuitive. Intuition runs deep in their life. And that's what guides them, not luck or anything superficial. Maybe another show about that one day. Maybe we'll dive deep into that. But for now, let me get back to what I was doing, right? And 2 times for my people who are vegans. And everybody know I've been a vegan for over a year now. And the struggle is real. Or it was. It's not so much as a struggle nowadays. Except being called a rabbit every now and then. But that's cool. At least I'm not pumping in, you know. And I won't say that because I don't judge. But I take care of, you know, my body and what goes in and what comes out, that kind of thing. Anyway, folks, we are averaging over 34,000 plus listeners and over 888,000 downloads worldwide. And we've been at this thing for 3 solid years. I definitely appreciate all you guys who have been rocking with the kid on this journey. And we're still growing, baby. It is all because of you guys, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, art, movies, research, and every aspect. And we want to allow you that opportunity to tell your story. Man, I've had celebrities on the show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens, or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter, though, who you are or what walk of life that you come from. Come on the show and talk to me, so check it out. To book an interview, I just share a real cool story from time to time. Email me at theradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. I am passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people that should hear it. So let's create something incredible. And with that, hello out there, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Vigilantes Radio. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in and being a part of our audience family. If you'd like information on how to call in, ask questions, or speak to the guest, dial this number, 701-801-9813, or hop in the mix directly from my website, which is over at onlyonemediagroup.com. Scroll down to the Vigilantes Radio tab and make sure you slap that go live button. You'll be right here in the mix with all of us. And we have a chat room available, so feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, and if we have the time. And as always, all episodes are available for free download in at least 1 hour. If we have to do major edits, it may take a day or two. And you can grab that from our server over at Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, over at iTunes, YouTube. We're trying to get on iHeartRadio now, so we're negotiating some things. And we are now on the app called Podcast and Radio Addict. That's right. You can carry us around 24/7, 365 days in your pocket, and we'll be right there for stream or download in your ear hole. How beautiful is technology? Oh my goodness. Or you can do the old traditional way and just pile on over to our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and download it from there by following the links. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired. Well, tonight's episode is the Dr. Monica Watts Baldwin interview, and I'm your host, Dini Mussolini. All right. So I'll go ahead and tell you guys this episode is supposed to be pre-recorded. That means no audience, but I feel like we're dealing with a genuine professional, right? Yes. So I left the conference unlocked. And of course, she also has been promoting it on her social media. Yeah, I've been stalking. Okay. Guilty. And so I seen her, promoting the show with the phone number, so it's there. So if a bunch of you guys jump on, which I will look and tell you exactly how many are on tonight. And we also have a faithful listener base that tune in regularly because we air almost every night, just about, right? We interview so many people. Oh my God. So yeah, there's that. There's that disclaimer. I gotta say that, and you'll see why later on. Okay, so again, I'm your host tonight, Dini Mussolini. Not too many announcements, except that I just came back from San Diego. I was over in Hollywood, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, all that bit, And then went over to San Diego for a promo run, photo shoot. And I did not know photo shoots hurt. Oh, my goodness. 2 hours of stand this way, turn your head that way, squat, lean back, look mean, squint your eyes, look whimsical, smile. Oh, man, my bones were hurting afterwards. I'm not cut out for that, runway, flashy cameras kind of stuff. No, I'm a dude from the streets, man. We don't do all that. Take a little selfie, bam. Okay, there you go. There you go. But no, I coach artists about how to put their best face forward and not just, it's a complete package when you're dealing with media and business. So when you're doing those kind of things, you want to be represented the best way possible, not with some selfie, or shooting a music video with your cell phone. And trust me, I know you have to use the things that you have. I've done it. I've done it all, my friends. So what I'm telling you from experience is that, when you have an opportunity to make your situation better, you better leap for it. And don't second guess yourself, okay? All right, so that was the announcements. My bad. Not many announcements, like I said. Except I just came back from San Diego, back home in good old Mississippi, where it's cold now. Crazy, right? Yes. Okay, so, a long time ago, 3 years ago, I started this podcast with only one listener. Yeah, not even the girlfriend I was dating at that time. She never listened to the show, and we lived in the same house, okay? Right, yeah, crazy. Family, they never listened. But I kept at it, kept working, kept pumping out material, and eventually I found my niche. And here we are today. The most I've had on the show at one time was, how much? It was like over 48,000. And of course we interviewed Busy Bone and Flesh and Bone. Oh, a lot of celebrities, actress from General Hospital, all kind of people, crazy people too. Some were cool, some were crazy, but that's neither here or there. So I said all that to say this. The only way you can be sure of what will happen is after it happens. Like me, I started a podcast. I'm an introvert. I hate talking, but I use this to get, points across, right? And I just jumped out there. And some of you guys were with me since day one. Well, that one person was with me since day one. She's still here, still rocking with the kid. She knows how our production have upgraded from when we first started till now. It's because we jumped out there, we did what we had to do, and here we are today. And I'm still not satisfied with where we're at because I know we can be so much better on a bigger platform, So I'm steady trying to improve this. So that's why I tell you guys, take action. See where things lead you and use that experience to improve your next action. Of course, consider what you're doing and think through the possible consequences. Just don't think so long and hard that you fail to make a move. Timing is everything, my friend. Don't take those foolish risks, but don't close yourself off. Do take willing experiments. Be willing to experiment. Do step forward into unknown territory, for that's where you'll encounter rich new possibilities. You should put thought into what you do, and remember this: you'll discover much more by doing than you will by thinking. Allow real-world action to solidify your direction. Go ahead, get going, and soon you'll be somewhat great. Yeah, I promise you. And that is the old Genie guarantee. If you would just, put one step in at a time, you should be okay. You should be okay. All right, so let's see. Oh my goodness. So we have a little over 22,000 online with us. Hello, beautiful people out there. How are you tonight? But we're not interviewing you guys. We are interviewing Dr. Monica. So without any further ado, and I don't want to keep 22,000 of you guys waiting because you're not here for little old Deanie, right? No, it has to be for Dr. Monica. So I won't keep you guys waiting. We are the people who have dedicated their nights, weekdays to music, news, business, ventures, conspiracies, and just talk in every aspect, from our incredible writing and promotion here on our new Facebook page, to our interviews, music shows on Vigilantes Radio, our spiritual shows on Skeptics. We spend each and every day giving our maximum effort to create a vibrant, exciting indie and professional community for all creative minds that coexist in this beautiful artistic world. And tonight our special guest is, I've been saying it over and over, but I'll say it again because I love the way it rolls off my tongue, that's right, Dr. Monica Watts Baldwin. So let's get her on. Hey,
hello.
Dr. Monica, you're now live in a mix with all of us. How's it going, and how are you feeling?
I am feeling great. Thank you so much for having me. It's just amazing to be on the phone with you. You're such an inspiration and motivator. Those are some powerful words.
Thank you. Now, would you like to buy my 2-part course? Not just playing. That's I was just playing. Don't sell that. So shall we
high
get
performance.
Started? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, we have Dr. Monica Watts on the line with us, and I have this long list. I'm going to roll it out for you guys, and it's a good list, too, so listen up.
Okay.
So, Dr. Monica, you're from the motherland. You're an actress. You were or are a DJ of awareness in your community. You're a hobby designer, TV, radio personality, blogger, physician, of course, educator, practitioner, and I want to say maybe a psychologist as well, but I will say she definitely is Superwoman as a side gig. With all those incredible feats and tall buildings that you leap, what's going on with you jumping into the consultant industry for professionals, and how did that journey start for you?
You're so funny. Well, some of those titles, those are a lot of titles. I'm a multidisciplinary, but some of those titles, I'm not a physician. I can be considered a metaphysician beyond the physical. I'm considered a doctorate of sciences, which is more research and philosophy. It's not exactly a PhD, but it's a doctorate in sciences. But, I'll take that, Superwoman. I am a hobby designer as well to escape the world of medicine and healthcare. I do hands-on with a fashion line. So, yeah, I'm a multidisciplinary here.
Okay, cool. And forgive me for stalking you, but it's kind of a part of the job, to dig deep and, find all these cool things about you. And sorry for, revealing that you are Superwoman, because all those things that you're able to do and I know you're headed to more greatness. I was just on your page not too long ago.
Oh, thank you.
Stalking you some more, and I seen the video about I think you're going to Cali soon.
Oh my God, you're so good. You're so high performance. I love you. Yes, I'm going to LA because I'm all about, if you have a passion in you, follow your passions and follow, go for it. Like you said, just do it. It's an action. So I'm an inspiring actress. I've been doing stage plays as a little child, and I've been working with actors, and and it's just something that's always been there inside of me. So I'm going to take a couple classes and, of course, see some clients while I'm there. So, yeah, it's a fun experience coming up, and I will be relocating from Florida to L.A. on a temporary basis.
No kidding.
So, yeah.
I'm doing the same in 6 months. I'm moving to Hollywood.
Awesome. We'll meet up.
Yes.
That's awesome. That would be cool.
So I watched a few of your Swinger Chronicles. I thought you were talking about something else in the beginning. And I was like, that ain't nothing. But,
Yes, I have, a little personality. I take light in life. And what I find out so much, Houdini, is that a lot of professionals, especially in healthcare, because my target audience in performance psychology is musicians, artists, entertainers, actors, and physicians, of course. Anyone, basically, that's any high-pressure profession, I help them reach their peak performance. And those barriers to reach that peak is usually stress levels. We take stuff, not saying we're not supposed to take our jobs and our profession serious, but our coping skills and the demands of high-pressure performance. It's hard to deal with sometimes. And, yeah, I did the Swinger Chronicles on my thing. I have a light heart. I have a very light heart, and that's what keeps me balanced. I'm a very well-balanced person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep that going. Keep that going.
Thank you. Yes,
right.
most definitely.
Definitely. So go ahead.
So you were talking about the life coaching. I heard that the word life coaching. Yeah. I kind of but life coaching, I'm a life coach, but I didn't kind of go from superwoman to life coaching. See, life coaching was basically the foundation. I'm just going back to the roots right now. I'm going back to my foundation because between undergrad and graduate school, before I proceeded to graduate school, I wanted a taste of counseling to make sure this is what I wanted. So I had a taste of life coaching to see, hey, this is what I really want for pursuing a graduate degree in professional counseling as I did. And at the time, it wasn't really considered life coaching. We were under authority called CFLE, Certified Family Life Educators, which is similar to the same scope of practice, but it's not exactly a life coach. So I'm a therapist, and a doctor that provide life coaching services. There's a big difference, a huge difference.
Yeah, that may be a debate between you and I that we'll
I know
later on into the show, because you also just made some clarifications earlier on your Facebook page about the same thing about the difference and how.
You know what?
Yeah,
I find out who you. What's your name? Let me see what you. You're so funny.
Yeah, you made a clarification. You did that, and that some life coaches should give a disclaimer about not having certain degrees. Like I said, yeah, let's go ahead and get with the interview before we start debating right now. So, how did your whole journey start for you? I mean, were you born with all this awesomeness? I'm sure you were. But
you know what? We all are.
You're right.
Yeah, we all are. Yeah, you think about it, he's in us. I believe in a higher power. I chose to go to Liberty University, to a Christian school. That was my personal preference, but I believe in a higher power. No matter what your higher power is, your personal beliefs. But my higher power is Christ and Christianity, and my power, it tells me that he's within me. So if he's within me, that means all this greatness is in us. We just really need people just need that extra push, that success and support, that SIS. They need a SIS with them, a success and support, to really cultivate these great skills and creativity they have inside them and not be afraid to go out and just get it and be the best they can be in this world.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was born with it. I'm built for this. Because it's supposed to be pre-recorded, but it was live. I didn't chicken out, so I'm built for this.
Now, I can lock it now.
No, don't lock it. I'm built for this.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell me and us, since there's some us in this building now, some details. Tell us about the relaunching of your brand. I believe it's called, and I had to be corrected on this, guys, it's called Performance of Psychology Consultant. I mean, I called it something that was weird. I don't know where I got those words from, but
it's okay. It's before you actually are right. It's performance consulting, performance of psychology consulting. It's not so much a therapeutic approach. It's a holistic approach. And I'm telling you, the relaunch of my brand is phenomenal because I've transferred from being a grinder to a hustler, meaning that I'm mastering my skills. And to become a master at your skills, you seek out mentors, you build affiliations, and you get associates involved. So the relaunch of my brand is so phenomenal because I've teamed up with an international partnerships and people that's been experts in the field of sports medicine and sports psychology and business psychology. And we have a unique approach where we've blended all our qualities and talents together to offer online courses. And that's perfect for high performers like yourself that's traveling back and forth from Mississippi to Hollywood and other performers out there and high-pressured people. They can access me more as I venture off as well to my own passions and my other passions. And, they have more accessibility to me by registering online. So, yeah, that's a great it's phenomenal. I mean, it's just where people can just take the classes online. So that's one of the major things about my high-performance relaunch. So it is high performance, helping people reach their highest potential and becoming a mental champion.
All right.
And it's an online program. Mm-hmm.
Sounds awesome. So let's chat about that first time around the block of consulting. We did find that you partnered up with one of Nollywood's up-and-coming actors. Is this partnership still relevant these days? If it isn't, what was learned from this venture?
Oh, yes, it's always relevant. I think every season has its reason. I was partnered with one of my clients and also ended up being one of my colleagues as well, which is Ben Lugo. He's an upcoming actor. Well, not upcoming actor. He's an actor in Nollywood. He's a very well-known actor in Nollywood and several films and movies and works with Disney over there in Nollywood. And, yeah, it's still relevant. Matter of fact, I'm playing a role in one of his movies that he's writing pretty soon. I'll be going to Nigeria to film this winter with him as well. So, yeah, he's one of my great friends as well as business partners. So, yeah, it's still relevant.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're familiar with many of the life coaches and consultants from around the world. I actually had a few on the show. I just interviewed a guy from India about 3 nights ago. Europe, USA, and even I do a form of consultation in the music industry. So it's always important to discuss or bring up when it comes to your own roster, professionals, athletes, entrepreneurs that you take on. If we can get some insight on that, I guess that's what I'm looking for. Basically, I suppose what I'm hoping for at the end of the day is there some form of a symbiotic relationship where both professional and yourself are working together on one unified goal, and that there's more criteria to them becoming a part of your roster. You know, the will pay, if you know what I mean. So let's handle all this rambling, all sides of the rambling I just did. If you can shed some light on it all, maybe let us know a little bit about what connects you personally to want to work with some professionals or athletes, or maybe a little bit about how they end up knowing that there's more than just a paycheck job. that they're a part of something special, growing, and evolving?
Oh, yes, indeed. I would suggest basically anyone that's seeking help out or support outside themselves, whether it's a therapeutic, life coaching, consulting services, is always looking at the mission and values. And my mission and values speaks for itself. And I bring a unique aspect to my clients because my life experience with training, that's a really unique aspect of it. And that's very important to me, to be authentic and to be transparent and to be a sis. When I say sis, it's not so much sister, but success and support. That's a copyrighted slogan that I have, SIS, success and support. And I bring that. I bring the tools with me. So it's a different type of relationship than my clients going to the therapist or seeing me as a therapist in a different setting than seeing my athletes seeing me out on the field or taking my online classes or contacting me while they're on the road with nutritional guidelines from me. It's a different relationship. It's not that same patient and doctor relationship. They have a more SIS relationship on my branded success and support tool relationship. So it's a more intimate relationship. It's a more supportive relationship where I bring different resources to them that goes beyond the Call of Duty, and that's what makes me stand out.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty unique. I don't hear too many have that same approach as you do. And then you already have your slogans trademark, and that's real cool. You're on your game. Wow.
Yes, I'm on my game. Yes.
You're on your game. See, guys, I always talk about branding. And Dr. Monica is definitely a brand. She's definitely a business. And also, behind the scenes, I get personal sometimes with listeners here. Behind the scenes, she definitely let me know that she was a brand. So that lets you know how serious she is. So you guys take her serious, because I do now, I promise you.
Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. That means a lot to me.
No problem at all. So what would you say is the number one benefit for any entrepreneur or athlete that would potentially partner up with your brand? Being a do-it-yourselfer and self-made woman, is there any reason that you feel what you're offering to these professionals is something that they can't or won't do on their own?
Oh, most definitely. Beyond just the SIS alone is, something that is phenomenal. But beyond that, on top of all the success and support tools and having access to us online, the difference is that we approach my team, my associates and I, out of the UK. Some of my associates are in the UK with Greenwood Associates. We approach it from a multifaceted level. We're blending sports psychology, entertainment psychology, industrial psychology, and neuroscience with our own method. So you're taking all this blendedness to help someone in their individual lives, which is a very unique approach. So we're able to tackle all facets of you, from your mind, body, and your soul, because the spirituality comes in with the well-being, learning how to meditate, mindfulness. So you're not going to get this anywhere else, trust me.
Okay. Because sometimes, what I do, really artists can do this on their own. I mean, I have for so long, but I find that my clients are the lazy class, the ones that don't know how to go read and research on their own. So I'm very popular with that group of artists. Not saying that it's bad in any kind of way, but that, they really could do what I do on their own if they really, put their thoughts into it. Which leads me into my next question. So,
what's that?
Given that you're able to provide something that they really can't do on their own, what would stop them from, going out to do a full do-it-yourself route, starting their own clinics and assistant programs and other areas of consultant industry? How is that you provide how is it what you provide bridges that gap?
Again, it goes back to the transparency, the authenticness of it. It goes back to I'm bringing not only my academic training and credentialing to it, I'm bringing my life experience to it. So when we're talking about peak performance, I went from talking about health awareness behind a DJ booth within 10 years to having a doctorate degree. I believe what's the saying, your work speaks for itself. And professionals, and especially high performers and successful people, we respect that. We look at actions, and that's very important, to know that individual. And sometimes people that have arrived, if you want to call it that, or where they want to be in life, they're not as transparent. They don't let you know the struggle it took to get them there. They make you appear as if it was all good and they just arrived there perfect. But that's not where it encourages and motivates people. People need to hear your testimony. They need that support. They need you to help guide them and coach them through there, because they don't want to feel like they're in it alone. They don't want to be preached to. They want a success. They want success and support. They want, whatever the tools that it takes to reach the next level in their career and help them get over the writer's block, help them get over the stage fright, and anxiety and travel fatigue. And what were you saying? You were saying you had to Hollywood, you was in a photo shoot and your body was tired. They want tools. Yeah, you could have called me up and I could have sent you an app right over and said, hey, just go to do these little exercises real quick. I would have been there for you. Yeah.
That's cool to know. Wow. So you help in those different aspects too.
Oh, yes.
Nutrition.
All facets. Yep.
Exercising.
Yeah, multifaceted.
Wow.
Mind, body, and the soul.
Wow.
Because how can you do it without? How can you help someone that comes to you with a client, that comes to you with a barrier? Say your barrier is substance abuse. I mean, how can you help somebody with substance abuse issues and you're not addressing their cravings, you're not addressing their dietary issues, and how can you help them without addressing their spiritual issues? You have to take a holistic approach. And when you're dealing with high performers in this special population, you really have to have a strong background and be able to relate. And they can relate to me. I know their demands. I mean, not only because my brother and my ex-husband were sports agents and my brother-in-law plays for the NFL, I have the insight. I've been there. I'm connected with Nollywood and Hollywood and people, and I know what they're going through. And I come from a place of compassion and understanding and most definitely privacy. And that's a big thing in our profession is privacy.
Okay. And I like that word, holistic. Guys, she's the real deal. You're hearing it. You're hearing it for yourself. There's nothing I have to brag about. She is definitely the real deal.
Yes,
so Dr. Monica.
Yes.
I'm dealing in with the industry, music coaching. Sometimes I do dabble in life coaching because, like you just said, how can you not address all things like mind, body, and soul, spirituality? And I believe all root causes start from how a person thinks or process situations that occur to them. And I have experienced a ton of community, positivity, love, and support through promotions in my platform on here, travels, meeting people all the time. And I've encountered people who generally been led to believe in almost nothing. Sometimes it baffles me. Or at least to question things as best as they can in an effort to reveal maybe a true intention behind my words as a mentor in a sense. But I tell you, the things that scare me the most, and I'm not saying all these apply to you or me or your mission, but things that tend to scare people the most are people who suspect people like me or you are a potential gimmickry behind our machine, or things like people claiming to have all the answers or have the one and only answer that exists, guarantees and promises, lollipops and rainbows. Some people just have a nearly impossible time putting faith in almost anything that is so secure in itself to be guaranteed. So here you are, Dr. Monica. Here's your moment, and I'm rolling out the red carpet and a sincere invitation for you to explain your thoughts on this, how you deal with it, and does it ever cross your path?
Oh, yes. Oh, I deal with it. Let me pop my face out real quick since I'm on the red carpet. I deal with it. Thank you. I deal with it especially in the entertainment industry, in the athletic industry, because they have trust issues financially. They don't know whether people are trying to get to them for their assets or their circle. So they already have like trust issues, and then to be a professional coming to them, they have their guard up. And you're going to see those barriers that's going to be hard to break. But the unique thing about my affiliates and my company, and like you said, you're a life coach in the industry. I think that's great. I value life coaches. I mean, I'm considered a life coach consultant and, not only a substance abuse therapist, but that's the foundation. But the only thing about life coaches is that you have to know when to refer out. Life coaches can't address mood disorders, depression, anxiety, and all those other major issues that they need to get professional licensed help. So I do value life coaches. So we can't be selling dreams as life coaches, people that wake up that say, hey, I'm going to be a life coach, and they're going to help people, and they're going beyond their scope of practice, because what's going to happen is that we're going to paint the industry. We're going to make more mistrust and more boundaries to break through to really help people and get over the mental health issues that we have in society in general, not only professionals, but in society, altogether. So that has our healthcare system plays a huge part in some of the mistrust as well when it comes to seeking professional help. Because, we've lost some good people, due to mood disorders, due to substance abuse, recently, great talent in our music industry. We really have. So we definitely, as professionals out there, we have to know our scope of practice, and we have to definitely, be aware of our responsibility that we have to the community, because that mistrust is there, especially in the African-American communities, because we've been so into just pray about it and get over it type of thing, where a lot of people are hesitant to get professional help. And I love the fact that with my associates in my group, it makes it a little bit more opening and accessible, because you can just go online and you're not like, right, when they're ready, they'll come to us. They can book their appointment, they'll come to us, but they can take their courses online, and they can really learn and grow just online in their educational process, or looking at their app, and doing it on the phone versus going into an office, sitting and laying on a couch. It's like having a more intimate thing instead of having a doctor and patient relationship. And I mean, that's the great thing about life coaching.
So, this is totally...
Was that what you was looking for?
Yes, it was. It was. And you said something... You said something also that made me think back to a recent interview you did with Dr. DJ Bougie about, and you mentioned artists on substance abuse.
Yeah, that's my boy, DJ Bougie.
Yeah, so well, first of all, do artists ever open up? Because I know a lot of them, like you mentioned on that interview, a lot of them have a problem where they're writing, they're creating, and then when they come down off of that high and they're working, they can't think of anything creative because they use that drug as an influence. Like, do they ever open up to you about those things, or is that something that's a part of the plan of attack to get their life back on track? Oh, I made a rhyme.
Oh, I like that part of it. Get your life back on track. You know what it is? Actually, a lot of them, by the time they get professional help, and it has taken a toll on their profession. It just has really, things have gotten really turmoil when someone has dragged them in, their PR or someone. They're so good at hiding and being secretive, and and you think you have, and people, of us as our 9-to-5ers that, get up and go to work and have enablers. Can you imagine the high-profile clientele that we have that will have enablers because of being the connection? So sometimes it's very sad because their inner circle won't even tell them they're wrong. So it's a little, I don't want to use the word worse because addiction is addiction and it doesn't discriminate between class or race. But with high performers, they will try to hide it a little bit more because they're already under a microscope and the embarrassment is amplified. Does that make sense? So it is harder to get them to come out, especially with athletes to come out. They'll be like, hey, I got this, I've been doing that, and it's hurting, but they're not telling you, hey, I took this the night before, I took this the week before, and that's why I can't, I'm not healing right. They keep more secrets. They really do.
They can't really open up about those things anyway because they'll lose endorsements and contracts.
Yes, exactly.
Or rappers
which makes
don't
it
really
harder.
have that. Yeah. Entertainers don't really have that barrier unless they're being sponsored by Pepsi or L'Oreal or something like that. And their, drug addiction comes out in the open. But most entertainers are known for that, So I worked, and it was funny you did mention about, their inner circle not saying anything. Now, I've worked with a bunch of big-name artists side by side, and the general rule is if you point out a flaw, you get fired. So mention it doesn't really help the artist. It only, creates a tension where, well, that brother's hating. You just want to be in this spot and that spot. So a lot of times, mom's the word. A lot of times the inner circle are quiet. They're only, sitting back watching and wishing they could say something. And some are bold. Some are very bold to confront their boss at the time. And even though they get everything out about how much they care, they're in tears and crying, it doesn't change anything. The only thing that changes is the job position.
Yeah, I mean, that's why everyone as individuals, we have to know our mission, our vision, and our values. So if it takes me getting fired to help try to save your life, that's part of my mission. That was my season for you. I lost my job, but you know the truth. I'm not going to sit back and let you, drown yourself in a bathtub while you're taking a Xanax. I'm going to be there, and just not to say any names or anything, but we've lost artists and their daughters have been lost, but they had the same inner circle. You know what I'm saying? The same inner circle that was there that could have intervened at any time. They really could have intervened at any time.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I'm sure a lot of people needed to hear that right now. And there are some celebs that peek their heads in every now and then to see what old Deanie's up to. So...
and it's individuals. It doesn't have to be high. You don't have to have a high pressure job. Just individuals in general. You don't have to be a surgeon to go through. Also, when I talk about entertainers, also surgeons are high pressure. So they're the same way in healthcare. You have healthcare workers that are on substance abuse as well. So, and they will try to hide it as they're, also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's jump off some heavy, off the heavy subjects before I get those emails.
Okay.
Who do you look up to in life?
Well, I look up to when I look up. I look up to God. That's what I look up to. I look up to God. I'm a champion for Christ. How do you know?
I mean,
that's what I look up to.
Because we're intertwining here. I just had a feeling you were going to say that. You're such a deep intuition person. You may be an indigo yourself. Who knows?
I think I'm indigo. Yeah, I look up to God. That's my higher power. So that way, because man will fail you, and man is human, and we're all human, and we all can make mistakes, and we all should be forgiven. So I don't idolize, So I look up to God. That's my idol. And I'm not perfect, and I try to strive and be the best that I can be the best Monica that I can present to the people in my circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what will determine whether or not you continue to embark on this mission in the future? Is there anything that can stop you now that you're ready to relaunch your brand?
Oh, nothing can stop me now unless God tells me that he has a different plan for me, because he set my plans out. I tried to do everything myself in the past, but now it's all about being guided. So at this point, I'm unstoppable because this is my mission. Performance psychology is my mission, to help people overcome their barriers, reach their full potential. In the process, helping other people become great is fulfilling me, the greatness inside of me through Christ. So I love it. So nothing can stop me.
So Florida has been known as a professional state for the working man and working woman. At least that's what I hear from all the way over here in Mississippi. Is that the case in economical terms?
Yeah, I think Florida is definitely, I'll use the word is that. Florida is like the diversity, it's a melting pot. So most definitely, it's a melting pot. You have so many opportunities, especially in our industry as artists and as performers, because of diversity in Florida.
Okay. So here's a random one for you. Again, as wide open as it gets. What keeps you awake at night, Dr. Monica, and why?
Keep me awake at night? That's not healthy. What are you talking about, Houdini? That's not healthy. Successful entrepreneurs, we have good habits, and sleep is one of those good habits to be successful. But I will say that we sacrifice a lot, as well, especially if you're a passionate person. We sacrifice a lot, and by emails, technology, different things that will have our attention. So we have to set disciplines, habits and routines in our lives to be able to cope as bosses and hustlers and grinders. But what keeps me up at night is that I don't really have a keep me up at night, because Africa keeps me up at night, because when it's nighttime here, it's daytime there, and both of my parents are in Africa and my family, so it's like my body clock is very different than people, but I do manage to get at least 5 hours of sleep somewhere within a 24-hour period. So I am still in my standards, but yeah, what keeps me up at night is communicating with my international businesses.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm about the same. 5 hours of sleep from 2 to 7 every night.
Yeah. But no, I don't worry like that. No.
Okay. All right. So websites, and before we get those, for you guys who don't like to, do the work yourselves, and I say this every show, I provided the links and the tagline of the show. They'll always also be available on iTunes. A lot of guys listen through iTunes, YouTube. So the links will be there. Just click those links and you'll be able to go everywhere and all things about Dr. Monica Watts. And you can do some stalking yourself. It's pretty cool, I tell you. So let's get them from her. Where do you want people to come and find you? And if they go to these places or send you a message, will you respond direct?
Yes, I'll try my best to respond direct. I will try my best. If you want to contact me, please go to my Twitter, which is LifeContourDoc. LifeContourDoc. Just go to Twitter and just hit my link there to website, and it'll take you directly to our online courses. If you go through my Twitter, that's the simplest way. You just go through LifeContourDoc. My Facebook is Dr. Monica High Performance. So that's Dr. Monica High Performance is my Facebook. And my Instagram it's set on private, but it's Be Queen Life. So my Instagram is Be Queen Life. But if you need immediate help, if you're dealing with substance abuse or something beyond that you need a professional licensed counselor to deal with, please contact me on my professional state page through Psychology Today. And if you're in a different state, you're not in Florida, you can still go on Psychology Today and click whatever city you're in, and the database will give you a therapist, a professional, or psychologist that's verified through Psychology Today to be able to assist you with whatever you're going through, depression, anxiety, substance abuse, whatever it is, just reach out and get help. And if you want me specifically, just type in Dr. Monica Watts, and my information will pop up, and you'll get my office and my virtual office and everything.
I think we will want you specifically.
Oh, that's right.
Anybody else, but yeah.
Okay. Well, yes. Thank you.
All right. Guys, after the music break, it'll be time for our usual tradition. It is called the Hot Seat, and our fans love this part of the segment. And, of course, along with the actual interview, but the audience get to hear either some vocals, a poem, inspirational speech, written work, spoken word, freestyle rap, maybe musical tribute, recite some lyrics, a story, live instruments, who knows? From our special guests, you never know what these creative minds and vessels will produce in the spotlight. And tonight, we'll find out if Dr. Monica Watts Baldwin have what it takes to be put on the spot, a test of her true artistry, and maybe even some hidden talents we did not know about. So,
yes, you did do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's go ahead and take our music break, and we'll be back with Dr. Monica Watts in the hot seat. Tonight we have No Longer the Hero, 45 Revolutions.
To the jawbone, spun me to the light of a lost soul. Call me to the booth where they all fold. To get there, gotta die where you once roamed. And it wasn't a silence, making me hallucinate perpetual crisis. Living in the entity of bitter silence, meant to be the enemy of all of mankind is why I wanted to find you. Sick enough to give me anything to define you. Maybe if the element is relevant enough to any situation, I can meet the anyone I wanna base it off of.
But dying and I'm down to a crawl. Reeling over when I fall. Seeing double. I've given it all to be weak, a dream reality. What is meant to be ain't up to me. I've gotta just believe that everything's a lead. So I'm hanging by a noose in 45 revolution.
When it's sky, would you come on down and save my world right now and spin this day like around? Yeah, infinite when it comes to the playlist. Batman and King with a fabulous. Passionate to give a scene that Jim Audible word with clay biz slave ship. Put it down one time for the corporate. Hands up one time for the corpses. Get paid for gold and fortune. This final walk and morphin'.
But dying and I'm down to a crawl. Reeling over when I fall. Seeing double, feeling small. I've given it all to be weak, a dream reality. What is meant to be ain't up to me. I've gotta just believe that everything's a lead. So I'm hanging by a noose in 45 revolution.
Deep in this timeless pit designed for the mindlessness of trying to design this shift for the elements, for the betterment. Try to elude illusion, refuse the sentiment. The rule is evident. Doomed from the day I diffuse the due date of act delicate.
Right down to the predicates. My sentiments straight from the mass home. What's bad to the lab for development? Stop boy, homeboy, like yes, yo. Body contortionist, vocal cord up, bigger portion. When roll powder, tongue speak, we got the breach. Put through the I'm back in the last the fork again.
Again, that was No Longer the Hero with their song 45 Revolutions. Guys, this is the day when life happens. This is the day when your intentions become achievements. Today is when you make full use of everything that you've learned. Today is when you rise above your limitations and push beyond challenges. So, today is the day is when you express your values, your priorities, your dreams with your actions. Make them sync together, you know. Today is when you show how much you care with how much that you do. Yes, today is the culmination of all you've ever said, done, experienced, learned, promised, and expected. Today, you're able to mold the best possibilities into reality. Oh my gosh, you're so incredible. You are. You truly are. This is the day all too precious, too full of promise to waste on worry, procrastination, resentment, or doubt. And by the end of the day, you can be miles ahead of where you woke up this morning, having added achievement, love, and meaning along the way. Living this day fully is something you cannot put off a moment any longer. So embrace today and its possibilities with all that you have and make it the best one yet. And just remember, my friends, if you're having a tough day, the sun will come up tomorrow and you can start on a new one. Don't worry about it. It's cool. All right, we are back with our guest tonight, Dr. Monica Watts. Okay, it's time for the hot seat. It is all on you now. I will shut up.
Ooh, hot seat. Awesome. So, what's the hot seat exactly? Do I ask you to ask you questions? Because I want to interview you. I want to get in your mind. I want to pick your brain.
Oh, wow.
The hot seat's on me.
No, the hot seat is where we find out if you have some hidden gifts, which I know you do. Maybe you're good, reciting poetry, or maybe you can sing.
Oh, yes. I do. I have some hidden talents. I'm a healer. I'm a light worker. I help my puppy, which is the love of my life. I helped regrow his liver, and he was on hospice. He was in a coma for like 2 weeks. A dog in a coma for 2 weeks, and he only weighs like 3 pounds. So that's a unique story about me. I love animals. I'm an animal advocate and a human advocate. So, yeah.
Man,
I want to freestyle for you, but I can't do that right now because I'm quite sure my professional associates and, I don't want to be like freestyling right now. But, yeah, I do that in Hollywood when we meet up, but I freestyle for you.
Okay. You'd be surprised, though. We had a Russian Republic on the line not too long ago, and he actually rapped.
That does not surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. I believe it.
Older white guy, Russian. Oh, man, he was pretty good, too.
I'm quite sure.
We had a lawyer on from San Diego, and he could freestyle, too. Who would have known? Who would have known?
Wow. Who would have known? Who would have known?
Humans are amazing.
Humans are amazing. That's right. Reaching our full potential.
Yes. All right. So, Dr. Monica, I want to thank you all once again for being a part of our experience here on Vigilantes Radio. This was super awesome. I want to call you a goddess, but I don't want to seem too awkward because I have been stalking you all day and pretty much for the last 3 days. Yeah, 3 days now. I don't know. The days are running together.
You're so high performance.
So keep doing what you do. I personally believe that when a mission and a purpose is in its true form as yours is, that the world can always use more of it. So please continue on that path. Here's the open floor of Vigilantes Radio. Once again, it has been awesome to have you here with us, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the future and do some more stalking. But take this opportunity to shout out or say anything else that you want to talk about that we didn't cover or that I missed in this interview. So you can say anything at all at this point.
So I want to talk a little bit more about, you were talking about what makes this time a little different than when I first launched or founded Behavioral Wellness and Birth Arts. That's the name of my company, founded out of Pensacola, Florida. With our new team, that's what makes it a huge difference with Greenwood Associates and Geoff Associates, that is a huge aspect of it, where we are actually taking sports and we're taking neuroscience, and it's able to help people from the boardroom to the bedroom. And this is a phenomenal method of teaching that we have, and a formula that we have. So I want people to, reach their full potential, no matter what area in life that you're trying to grow. Reach out and get help, and have someone there to coach you through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have to walk alone on this journey. We don't.
No, we do not. All right. So thank you guys for always checking out our podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download at least an hour after the show ends. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 hours. And if we have to do some extensive editing, which we won't have to do on this one, that usually takes 2 or 3 days. But like I said, we won't have to do that for this one. And you can grab that from our server over at Spreaker.com/only1media group at iTunes, YouTube, and our website, which again, it's that very long sentence I just said, only1mediagroup.com. And that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a guest or send something for us to play, email it to me at theradio@only1mediagroup.com. Jeez, I really didn't think that website through. I should have said oomg.com. My goodness. Okay, I'm stop being lazy. Anyway, here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts. And actually, scratch all that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, of course, so just something you guys have to deal with. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny Mussolini, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word. Bootlegging is encouraged. I don't care. Just share it. Also, special thanks to our guest, Dr. Monica Watts, for joining us tonight. We stepped our game up just for you guys and for our guests to make sure that you guys have the best experience here on our show. Denny may just end up and something from our guests. Who knows? I do it all, my friends. Okay, one final thought, and I'm going to stop rambling, I promise. Just remember to be yourself and be absolutely freaking great at just doing that. Peace. Have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds, of the duo No Longer the Hero. Co-hosted by the Vigilantes Banditti. Call in to join the mix. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com.